we'll get it out of the way. We'll get it out of the way. You know, we've been saying that Newcastle are a different team away to what they are at home, right? I think we can both agree. We've watched performances, we've seen how terrible they've been away, and that's not changed. We go to Brentford, we set up with exactly the same team that we've been now complaining about for a couple of weeks, with Pope and Byrne both playing. Now listen, I'm a Pope enjoyer just as much as the next person, right? When Pope has a good game, he's on it, right? He's a brick wall. You will not get past him. But some days he will come out to try and claim crosses and he will disappear into thin air. And you just don't know what happened to him. You don't know where he gone. He disappeared into thin air. He was rubbish today. And, I mean, Dan Byrne, let me just quickly talk about Dan Byrne before anything else. This guy, okay, listen, I understand he can play both centre-back and left-back. I get that, right? But he is getting torn apart by every single winger in the league this year. And that's not a joke. Every single person who comes up against him is having a field day for dribbles because they're getting past him. They're beating their man, okay? Dan Byrne against Ouattara. Ouattara has been so good this year. And we are putting 6'6" Dan Byrne against him. Okay, sure, Eddie Howe. Let's do that. You know, Lewis Hall's on the bench, you know, had an incredible cameo. Not incredible, that's probably a bit too much, but had a really good cameo last week when he came on, or in the Champions League when he came on. We could have played Lewis Hall, but no, he's picked his favourite again. He's gone for Dan Byrne. Dan Byrne skinned all game. And it's the same patterns with Byrne. It's always get the ball, turn it left, spin it out to Gordon or spin it out to Barnes and then hope it doesn't come back to him because he's got no control at his feet. He's got no skill with the ball. It's not like he's Frimpong or Kirkes who are used to shooting up the wings and getting the balls in the box, you know. Yeah. So he's getting absolutely blitz pass all game. And he takes Ouattara down. He stands on his foot with his studs. He studs into him. It's a penalty, right? Ref looks at it and says, no, simulation. Hold that yellow card, la. Now, let me tell you this right now. I thought he was incredibly lucky to get away with that. Absolutely incredibly lucky to get away with that fucking tackle, right? Then, you know, he's on a yellow. He's still getting cooked all game, right? And Eddie Howe thinks, you know what? I'm going to keep him on for the threat he has at set pieces. Now, first of all, Dan Byrne takes our long throws. So he's not a threat there, right? 2, we didn't even get any free kicks or corners in the game for him to be a threat for. We were not getting the ball, up the pitch. And we weren't having these set pieces that Dan Byrne supposedly... Well, listen, he scored one of the best headers I've ever seen in my life last week. But, or was it last week or in midweek? I can't even remember. It was midweek. He scored one of the best headers I've ever seen in my life. But, listen, like, that's great. But if you can't defend against, you know, your man, like, you're pretty hopeless as a defender. And I can't just have a player who's only good from set pieces, right? So Eddie Howe's excuses are he plays him because of his threat for unset pieces. Doesn't sub him, doesn't take the opportunity, doesn't risk it, doesn't play Lewis Hall, who has been good in the cameos he's had. He's back from injury. True. Eddie Howe is so big on like easing players back in and being careful with them, especially because Lewis Hall is a young player. Right? He's still like 18, 19 or whatever. I don't know how old he is, but he's young, right? Yeah. And he missed the opportunity to bring Byrne off, who was on a yellow, and lo and behold, Ouattara passed him again. Byrne, listen, it was light. Ouattara went down easily, but he knew he was going to go down as soon as Byrne made any inch of contact with him, right? And as soon as it blows up, Byrne's reaction is he knows he's going. He knows he's going, right? And I don't blame that on Byrne. Byrne is only as slow as he can be. You know what I mean? It's not his fault he's put up against 99 pace, all right? Yeah. Eddie Howe should have taken him off. And I see a lot of people saying, oh, look at this run of form. Look at where we are in the league. We're currently in a relegation battle. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how out, okay? Because that would be stupid.
Yeah.
But we have to look at what is going on, and we have to say, whose fault is this? It's Eddie Howe's fault for not making the changes to the starting 11. It's Eddie Howe's fault for not bringing on Lewis Hall or changing Dan Burn from left back and then subsequently getting a red card, going down to 10 men and then the game basically being over at that point. It's Eddie Howe's fault for not being brave enough. It's Eddie Howe's fault for setting the team up in exactly the same way to play scared, to play on the back foot against these teams away. And we just look like a completely different team to what we were 2 years ago, a year ago away. We had same issues last year, but it was never this bad. It was never this bad. And listen, Tonali and Bruno, they're great players, but like they can only do so much when they've not got options on the wing that are going to give them consistent link-ups. Like Jacob Murphy, stinker, absolute stinker, could have been hooked earlier. Alanga, 55 million, came on and literally did nothing. Like, I didn't even realise he was there. Joelinton off in the first 30 minutes or something like that. Ramsey came on, I didn't even realise he was on the pitch. I thought Joelinton was still there. I'm not even joking, I didn't realise the sub was made until after half-time. And Jacob Ramsey, listen, I've seen good things from him, but I need to be seeing more. You're the creative midfielder. You're the one who has to link up the gap between Tonali, Bruno and Voltemada. That is your area, in the middle of the strikers and the midfielders. You are the attacking midfielder, the left side. You have to be doing more. And listen, Harvey Barnes scored a great goal today. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, great
a
goal.
Very nice goal. Great finish. That's what he's got in his locker sometimes, right? But Voltemada, listen, nice little touch or flick from him, whatever. But the system is not set up to suit this guy's strengths. And he is dropping into midfield and we don't know how to capitalise off of him when he has the ball. Teams have figured him out now because they just absolutely pounce on him as soon as he gets the ball. And he's got no chance to A, hold it up, or B, try and dribble the ball or pass it on to somebody else. And the link-up play has been so poor that Voltemada is just isolated the whole game.
Yeah.
And, there'll be accounts on Twitter, they'll say, oh, stinker and hooked, obviously, he didn't get hooked today, but I'm sure there's accounts saying that he had a stinker. Voltemada is not the issue. The issue is Eddie Howe not knowing how to use this guy. And it screams to me that, listen, there was reports coming out that Newcastle had put a bid in for Voltemada much earlier on in the summer, right? I'm going to say that is bullshit right now. Because now I'm starting to look at this situation we're in and I'm starting to think, wow, Voltemada was a complete panic buy. And listen, good panic buy. Well done. You got a very good player out of it. Hopefully he stays for another 3 years, helps us win the next trophy level, whatever that may be, FA Cup, whatever, okay? European Cup, I don't know. But we have brought him in. Obviously, we've had injury issues with Wissa. But we've brought him in and we do not know currently how to get the best out of him. And I know we've got fixture congestion and I know we've got a lot of issues going on. We can't really train. We can't really do too much because we've got midweek games, cup games. We're very packed on our schedule right now. But something needs to be better. Eddie Howe needs to figure out a way to be braver. He needs to man up with his team selection, drop his fucking favourites, and make changes that are going to impact the game. If Jacob Murphy and Harvey Barnes, obviously Harvey Barnes scored today, if Jacob Murphy is not doing anything by the 45th minute and we are away and we are A, losing or B, drawing, get him off at half-time and bring Alanga on. At least try and inject something in at the point where it matters. Try and make the change early rather than waiting till the 75th minute. Yeah. We're 2-1 down and then you bring on Alanga and Willock. Jesus Christ. Willock literally played 20 minutes and he looked out of it afterwards. Yeah. I don't understand how this guy is fit enough to be a Premier League footballer. I'm upset at the performance, but what I'm more upset by is that I have so much faith in Eddie Howe that we shouldn't be seeing these errors and mistakes 4 years into his tenure. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is stuff that you get wrong at the beginning.
Yeah.
But now it just feels like he's a little bit lost for ideas. It feels like the system's been figured out. He doesn't know what to do when he goes down. He's struggling to get his players motivated to play away, and he's picking the wrong team. Like, how many more errors can he be making? Do you know what I mean? So, I'm not saying sack Eddie Howe, but what I am saying is there's now a little bit of a question mark over his head. He needs to start pushing things together and figuring out how we're going to revive this season. Because right now, we are set to finish in the lowest table position we have been under Eddie Howe. We're set to finish, what? Bottom half? 10th?
Yeah.
9th?
Yeah, you're bottom half right now, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're in a relegation battle
14th.
right now, but I mean, like, yeah, 14th. We are, 3 points above Nottingham Forest, who have had 3 different managers since the beginning of the Premier League.
That's
and
insane.
we're only, 3 points ahead of them.
1 win.
Yeah.
1 win ahead of them, yeah.
So, listen, again, I'm sure you'll know that I'm not one of these guys that's going to be like, oh, Howe out, get him out. That's not what I'm like. I'm not going to jump the gun.
No.
But the recruitment's not been right.
No.
Listen, I think Alanga's a good player, but he's come in and he has been fucking bad. And why is that? I don't know. It's not that he's a shit player, right? It's just that we're not getting the best out of him. Why are we not getting the best out of him? Well, we're not getting the best out of Voltemada. We're not getting the best out of Ramsey. We're not getting the best out of Alanga. We're not getting I personally think the only good promising sign I've seen in the past few games has been Malik Chow. This guy is a player. This guy's a fucking player, man. And he can only do so much. When Bozo Botman scores an own goal, when Bozo Botman lets the ball flow past him for Thiago just to tap it in again, right? Why when we are 2-1 down, right? We've made our subs, however shit they are, right? And we're trying to chase the game, and we actually put a lot of balls into the box. We were testing them, and then Botman just switches off, lack of concentration. Ball's going past him, he thinks no one's there, realises somebody's chasing it, I don't know if it's Utaro or Thiago or whoever it was, realises, oh shit, I've been caught out here, somebody's going to get to the ball before me. And then he does his slow motion run, because he can't get over 5 miles an hour, this guy, with his cancer knees. He can't pick up any speed, right? And then just ends the game there for us. So, listen, I don't give a fuck what any Newcastle fan says, right? If you're looking at me in the eyes now and telling me that Botman is a Rolls-Royce centre-back, we're having issues, okay? I promise you we're having issues. There's a reason why this guy's not been selected for the Netherlands squad once. There's a reason why, okay? And we're seeing it right now. This guy, listen, he might be young, he might be strong, he might be good with his feet, but let me tell you this. He's not doing it in the Premier League, and it doesn't look good on the rest of his career right now. Because he's been injured, and he's come back, and he's arguably been one of the worst defenders in our squad this year. Okay? I genuinely think Kieran Trippier has had better defensive contributions this year than Sven Botman. He has been so poor. For a player who is now running out of his contract, and there's talks like, oh yeah, I watched this YouTuber who knows Sven Botman's agent, and he messaged him saying, oh, I've heard from a little bird that there's contract negotiations going on. And the agent was like, yeah, keep listening to the little birds. So, like, something's going on with the contracts. Cut his fucking wage. Okay? Because wallahi, he doesn't deserve to be on the wages he's on right now. And it's pissing me off that we are putting up with these shit away performances every single week. We literally look like Bruce Ball. when we go away. And that is not a joke. And to have Bruno and Tonali in the midfield and to look like we are scared to go forward and attack teams like Steve Bruce used to play away, it just doesn't look good. That's my rant over. But listen, next game, if either Nick Pope, right, Dan Burn, or Sven Botman are starting, we're going to have some serious issues on our hands because...
You know who you're playing next, right?
Yeah. We've got... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's going to be good.
Sit there at St. James's Park.
Yeah. So, listen, that screams draw. That screams draw. That screams 2-2. Because at home, we'll show up. At home, fucking Dan Burn will be blasting up the left wing. But away, fuck, no, sorry. Impossible. Eddie Howe will get it right at home. Because that's just what he just cannot seem to get it right away. Sorry, I cut you off there.
Yeah, no. It's. I mean, look, it's probably your toughest period post that first season where the Saudis were taking over. 12 points from 11 games. That is not it.
That's relegation form.
It is. I predicted you guys to be flops this year. I didn't see this coming. I didn't think it would be this bad. No. And there is still time. There's still, 26, 27 more games to play. So it's not the end of the world, but it's a hard place to come back from now, because now you've got this shadow behind you, this away form that's just dog shit. Like, every time you go away now, it's going to be there. Granted, Brentford have been quite good at home. They beat us, they beat Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool, fucking shit.
Yeah, no. That's not an excuse, because we played West Ham away.
Yes,
we played Brighton away, who have been all right, but some of these teams, Leeds away, we drew. Bournemouth away, we drew. These are teams that Newcastle's... Listen, Bournemouth, I'm happy to say they've had a great season. Fair enough to them, right? But Leeds away, 3 points, right? Brentford away, I do not care who they have in their team. Player for player, we should be better than them. Yeah. We should be winning away. Yeah. So, what's going on?
Honestly, I don't know, because I didn't actually watch the whole Newcastle game. What I did is I watched the Newcastle game last week when you guys lost to West Ham 3-1, and I thought that was quite dire already. And if this week was worse, I saw that Barnes' goal was the only shot on target. It's a cause for concern. It has to be. You have to question everyone. I'd say, it's Howe's in-game management. It's also the board not failing to get any, I'm convinced, of your top 5 strikers. Top 3.
Listen.
Top 3 right.
We didn't want Alanga. We wanted Mbuemo.
Yeah.
But, right, like, we didn't want Alanga. We wanted Mbuemo.
Yeah.
We didn't want Voltemada first. We wanted Ekitike, right? And then it went to Sesko. Then it was João Pedro, like all the others, right?
Yeah.
There's so many players that we were after that were clearly our first choice, right? And it's just not come through. And, like... I don't know. Does Eddie Howe know how to make this team work? Because it feels like Voltemada is like a fish out of water. Like, he doesn't know how to link with this. Sorry, he can link with Newcastle perfectly fine. But can the rest of Newcastle link with him? Is what we're looking at.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think this is uncharted territory. I brought it up once before. Has Howe reached his ceiling? Has he reached his ceiling? Top 5 and a trophy. Is he the guy to take you to the next level? Because I think we talked about this at the end of last season, where we said, I think you said give him 1, maybe 2 more seasons, and if you guys don't get further, then you look for another manager. Because I think so many managers in world football would be looking at that project, looking at the amount of freedom, the money, the facilities, the players.
Yeah,
they'd have a field day, you know.
100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think... I'm not going to say he gets sacked, but do you think Howe could potentially be going at the end of the season?
Listen, end of this season, I'm not sure, right? You're going to have stupid fans saying, Howe out, this is a disgrace, blah, blah, blah. Listen, all I'm going to say, right, is if the Saudis, if you think we're unhappy with where we're finishing, you think the Saudis are going to be looking at a 11th, 12th, 10th place finish after all the money they've invested and be happy? No, they won't be happy. Listen, I don't know if they give him time. I don't know what they do. I would personally give him time because I've seen what he can do. I would like to believe that Eddie Howe could be the guy to win us a Premier League, to win us a European trophy. I would like to think that. But is he a little bit tactically limited and or is he too set in his ways to change how he plays? Listen, if Visser comes back and we start playing this 4-2-3-1, I'll be excited. I will be excited to see Voltemada and Visser on the same pitch. I might come, but I physically can only give you the information I'm seeing, and right now it's AIDS. I'm watching AIDS on my football screen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think Wissa's involvement in AFCON is going to be big. I don't know what's going on that side. I know for us, Mbeumo has said he's leaving it up to United and Cameroon to discuss. I think that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I think apparently to the local journalists, it seems that Visser wants to repay the favour of us being interested in him for a long time by not going to AFCON and playing for us as soon as he can. To repay the long wait of his transfer and giving him that move.
Yeah.
But listen, Visser better fucking hit the ground running. I tell you that right. I tell you this right now. He better hit the ground running. Otherwise, he will just be another member of the worst transfer window under Eddie Howe. Yeah, mate, that's what he'll be.
It's true. Premier League proven. He had a very good year last year. He's been consistently 10 plus goals a season. There's no real excuse. So let's see. Let's see how he does when he comes back. I guess this is the risk you made when you signed Ramsdale. This guy's been relegated 3 times in the Premier League.
Yeah, the relegation curse. It's on us now.
It's real. So yeah, let's see how Newcastle fare against City in 2 weeks.